have footage which appears to show the U.S. Army CH-47G Chinook Special Operations helicopters, likely with the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, over the Venezuelan capital, Caracas.
Ok, siguen las explosiones, se escuchan helicópteros, son las 1:58 de la mañana. Están atacando el fuerte Fiuna.
Look at how chunky those helicopters are, man! 160th SOAR, your old team. Ooh, shit. That's pretty cool. I must admit, you know, even if they're only targeting like military places or the tomb of Hugo Chavez, because fuck that guy. If I was just a regular Venezuelan kind of chilling in these houses here, I'd still be a little worried. You know, I'd be like, there's things on fire near me. You know, I'm just a little worried. I'm a little nervous. Explosions reported near military bases in Venezuela. Residents in the capital, Caracas, reported hearing multiple explosions, particularly near Fort Tiuna, a major military installation in the city's south. Unverified footage appears to show large fires at 3 separate locations. The cause of the explosions remain unknown at this time. That's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool. Also, again, if I was just a resident here, I would still be pretty nervous, you know? Like, even if they're only hitting military targets, it would still make me nervous, you know? They were reported to have Russian air defense equipment. Interesting. That would have been their air defense. Did Venezuelans buy Elbonian surplus air defense? What is Elbonian? Will the US actually try to get a good leader in Venezuela? According to someone in chat, last year's Venezuelan election, some guy won, but then Maduro didn't let him actually take over because Maduro is a dictator. So hopefully that guy that won the election last year is just going to be the leader this year. Massive secondary explosions after U.S. airstrikes against Higuerot Airport. It looks like the Americans hit a Venezuelan weapons shipment. Fireworks! That's pretty fucking cool. See? It reminds me of doing that Viet Cong side quest with Rodriguez in Crime Bobs. I hated that mission because it glitched so often, but if you ignore the glitches, it was a lot of fun, and I liked the story. God, I wish the developers weren't cucks. Back in November, Venezuela was singing John Lennon's Imagine, like all of the weird freaks in our country like to do, as he talks about U.S. tensions. Some random guy said, "Holy shit, nuke Caracas now!" And this guy tagged whoever Caleb Prime is. I don't know who that is. They said, "They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother." And Caleb said, "Bomb Chavez's tomb, please. Pick related his tomb." And this morning for breakfast, the U.S. decided the mausoleum of Hugo Chavez has been struck. It housed his remains. If I was this guy, I would be so fucking proud of this tweet. I would be out of my fucking mind, dude. Out of my fucking mind. And obviously he quote retweeted it and he's like, wait a minute. Bomb it as a treat. They're like, hold on, wait a minute. I called this. I asked for this. Got what I voted again. Got what I voted for again award. I can't speak. Mike Lee said, "I look forward to learning what, if anything, might constitutionally justify the action in absence of a declaration of war or authorization for the use of military force." And then he said, "I just got off the phone with Secretary Rubio. He informed me that Nicolás Maduro had been arrested by U.S. personnel to stand trial on criminal charges in the U.S., and that the kinetic action we saw tonight was deployed to protect and defend those executing the arrest warrant. This action likely falls within the president's inherent authority under Article 2 of the Constitution to protect U.S. personnel from an actual or imminent attack. Thank you, Secretary Rubio, for keeping me apprised." Chinese officials arrive in Venezuela for talks with President Nicolás Maduro. He's a little bit engaged at the moment, dear Chinaman. Oh, man. Sources in Venezuela opposition tell Sky News that tonight's operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife was part of a negotiated exit between Maduro and the United States. See, I don't know if this is true, but if it was a negotiated exit, I'm wondering if he was anticipating some kind of uprising where he might lose his life, and so it was better to be arrested by the US than to be exiting the mortal plane by the hands of the people you've oppressed for so long. Drew said, one of my best mates in Australia is Venezuelan. His mother lives in Venezuela, and she only managed to avoid starvation these past few years because he would send her small bits of money from his Australian student stipend. He messaged me right now telling me that he and all his loved ones are celebrating. So many people suffered under this regime. That's like the good time to be sending money back from a Western nation is if your family is literally in imminent danger of starvation, bro. I bet his mother is incredibly happy now. We had some people seething. We had some people seething over it. Like, barely even tried with the drug trafficking law, and now they're fully bombing Venezuela. And we know it's over oil. All this fucking country does is bomb, kill, steal, and lie. Well, I don't know. The Venezuelans seem pretty fucking happy about it, you know? The Venezuelans seem pretty happy. The biggest cancer has been excised. Donald Trump is starting a war in Venezuela for oil because he's a pedophile war criminal who wants to kill everyone on the planet. I love how everyone just calls him a pedophile when there is no evidence, and people who are victims of Epstein have come out and said that he's done nothing. Like, I literally don't even know where they're getting it from at this point. He said, Disclosed TV said, Trump invades Venezuela, ordering U.S. Special Forces boots on the ground to secure Venezuelan military facilities. I haven't heard that. He said, Jesus fucking Christ, the United States is the greatest demonic country in the world. Yeah, I don't know. Demonic countries don't usually depose of commies. They usually install them. So, I don't know what he means about that, actually. Someone in the Financial Times, I don't know, says, I feel liberated, said a top banker. We can say retard and pussy without the fear of getting canceled. It's a new dawn. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we need to be able to say the F slur and the N slur again without getting canceled, and then it'll be a new dawn. Oh, but this retard said, we're at war with the world, but at least you can say the F slur again, I guess. Well, you can't. You can't actually say that again. We're still precluded from saying that. He shows an Americans oppose sending troops to Mexico or Venezuela. And a good majority are opposed, apparently, except for Republicans. Well, it's a good thing that we just kind of went in there, took him, and left then, I guess, isn't it? It's a good thing. It's a good thing that we just went in there, took Maduro, and left, eh? He said, thankfully, Donald Trump is speedrunning administration and political movement suicide. This should be extremely bad for him and his movement long term. Democrats, please stand against this. The world is begging for you to stand strong against imperialism. I don't think removing commies is imperialism. It's not like we're fucking taking Venezuela for American soil, you know? Depressing these people care more about Trump getting oil instead of talking about the civilians being freed from a fucking communist dictator. Well, I mean, it's easy. They just want communism. Removing a communist dictator, bad. And then he just goes completely, death to America. The U.S. has bombed the mausoleum of former Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez. We got a nice little video here.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira.
How interesting! The White House released photos of Trump and his team during the operation, and they had Twitter open with the big screen behind them monitoring tweets. Interesting. We have Pam Bondi saying Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. Nicolás Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States. They will soon face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts. On behalf of the entire U.S. Department of Justice, I would like to thank President Trump for having the courage to demand accountability on behalf of the American people. And a huge thank you to our brave military who conducted the incredible and highly successful mission to capture these two alleged international narco traffickers. That's pretty great. I wonder how the soldiers who actually like took him in feel. I'd feel pretty fucking great. You know, they might not have got to shoot bin Laden, but they got to arrest Maduro. Why New York? Do it in Florida every time. Very cool. Now do Tim Waltz. Yes, let's do Tim Waltz now, please. Someone made what the fuck? Joey Manarino said, I'm with some Cubans right now, and they're literally crying tears of joy. Venezuelans are celebrating all over the globe, too. If anyone thinks this military operation was a bad idea, you have no idea how many votes we just gained for the midterms. Trump is now the absolute hero of the Latin Americans. And, I mean, some people in chat have said maybe not so much, because some Latin American countries might be looking at it like, oh, fuck. America just came in and in 3 hours got rid of their commie. What if we're next? This fucking thing. Someone said, are you with any Venezuelans in Venezuela? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't welcome the bombing of their country. From what I've heard, people are very scared right now and fleeing Caracas. And Joey said, literally the opposite is true. So Aiden said, people will look you dead in the eyes and bitch about this like it isn't fucking cool. Fuck the communists, fuck their oil, fuck their drug trafficking, and fuck Maduro. Let's turn that volume down, brother man. Like I said, I'd definitely be worried seeing bombs happening, even if they were just going to military locations. But if I then found out why they were happening, I'd be like, oh, okay. That's pretty great. I'm a little nervous because they're kind of fucking close to me. And I think that's just human nature to be fucking nervous when bombs are dropping. Hey, shirtless. Hey, who wears clothes in their own home, man? Close the door, oh my god. Why close the door when you can watch the bombs drop? Like, simultaneously? That'd be a fucking crazy shot to get on your phone video. But also, I'd be very nervous. Abuelo, put your tits away. You're hoping Bondi's resistance to reducing gun control is because they want to nail Maduro first before dropping it? I don't know. I don't have much faith in Miss Pamela over there. Look at the planes! That's the word. That's a helicopter, but there's planes over there. That would be a crazy fucking thing to witness, man. Free Brazil from their awful import taxes. Custom build for opening your parcel. I didn't pay it. Oh my god. Little Marco has to become big Marco. He's gotta take some hints from wide Ted Cruz. Mega America in 10 years. Rubio clicking his heels in a Florida bathhouse right now. What did they mean by this? But this is translated from Spanish. I can confirm that the mausoleum of the dictator Hugo Chavez has been bombed. His remains were there. It has been left destroyed. So there were a few people in chat trying to say that they didn't hit the tomb. This is a guy in Spanish confirming that they did, in fact, bomb the mausoleum of the dictator Hugo Chavez. So to anyone in chat that was saying they did not, they definitively did. They definitively did. It did happen. Correct your records. All the socialist retards are coming out to condemn what is happening in Venezuela, while all the Venezuelans are celebrating. The people who want us to turn into a socialist hellhole don't even know the reality inside Venezuela, while the Venezuelans will tell you, don't try this shit. As someone who went there a few years ago to make a documentary, the devastation is no joke. It used to be the richest country in South America, and what Chavez started and Maduro continued should be a huge warning to all of us. I saw families living on the street in Cucuta, a Colombian border town, doing anything to earn money to send home. Violent gangs controlled the import of goods into the country. Millions have fled the failed to state because they wanted to eat, with border countries absorbing them. I met successful people who fled the country when their life savings were wiped out through hyperinflation. Election after election has been stolen, politicians jailed and forced into exile, journalists harassed, forced into exile too, and murdered, protesters shot at by the military. While Maduro and his good gorged on steak, the people went hungry. We visited charities trying to feed hungry kids and mothers. We met pro-Maduro protesters set onto the street in return for a basic basket of food. The same dependency we create here in the West with welfare. Friends had their businesses harassed, property stolen by the state, and forced to escape or face prison. It is the natural end state for socialists. Attacks on freedom, collapsed economy, hungry people, and no free press, no free elections, and violence from the state. It is the only way these socialists keep their bullshit alive. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting how you see in America, the socialists and people who want to see socialists rise to power in our country will claim that the opposing side against socialism is doing all of these things. It is a smokescreen so that when they come to power, they can just do everything they tried to blame the other side for doing. It is not violence from the state to remove criminals. It is not violence from the state to deport people here illegally. These are just enforcing laws that we have. I am not here to argue the intentions of Trump. I imagine pretty much every Venezuelan would do an oil deal for freedom. All you socialists are really just dumb fucks and have never seen it up close. If you did, you wouldn't be a socialist. And someone tried responding, oil for freedom, just like Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya. Libya had a lot of other issues, I think. I get empathy for the Venezuelan condition, but you've been staunchly against government intervention lately. How can you believe foreign intervention into another country is justified? Criticism of this is socialist. And he responded, literally the only intervention I support, and it's against every principle I have. Yeah, and I pretty much stand exactly in the same way. I don't like being Team America world police. But if you let communists fester in one area, they will eventually create problems for you. It would be the same if we had another, like, genocidal fascist maniac in power somewhere. Something needs to be done about them before they become a problem for you. And again, I do not want a US puppet installed to rule Venezuela. I do not want the US to have any control over ruling Venezuela. I think the Venezuelans should be ruling their own country. And hopefully, like someone in chat mentioned, the guy who was elected to rule Venezuela last year will be who becomes in power this year. And Trump also apparently did say something's going to have to be done with Mexico, adding that the cartels are running Mexico, according to Fox and Friends. Very interesting. Very interesting. When should we expect the bombing campaigns on Mexico, China, and Colombia? Hassan, the dog shocker piker. Even XQC's fucking laughing at him. That's great. Hassan said, great day to be an America First bootlicker who voted for the most Israel First admin that guts social programs, won't fix infrastructure, cuts taxes for the super wealthy, and spends all its money instead on bombing Venezuela and stealing its oil for super profits of the pedophilic elite. We need to gut more social programs. We need to cut more taxes for everyone, regardless of tax bracket. Stealing oil for super America. Man, he hit all the buzzwords. True. Did I see Hassan was in Asman's chat yesterday trying to debate him? Didn't Asman say he wasn't going to bother platforming people like Destiny or Hassan because they only act in bad faith, and giving them a platform to spread their ideals further would just be bad? Kind of like what I said to Leaflet about Nyara. Why the fuck would you have a conversation with somebody who's not looking to have an honest conversation? It depends. It depends. Either you're very naive and you think that they're a more good faith actor than they actually are, or you're doing it just to get views. Be one of the two options. But I did talk to Leaflet, so she now knows everything. Is the oil thing true or not? Venezuela does have oil. And I mean, if we get extra oil from Venezuela after they put in somebody who's not a communist, that'd be great. Hassan wasn't trying to debate Asman in his chat about the Somali daycare thing and was trying to debate Asman about the daycare thing and was losing badly. Well, yeah, you can't deny something that's actually happening, man. Democrats are now holding a protest in New York City's Times Square demanding the imminent release of Nicolás Maduro, claiming he is the rightful president of Venezuela. How predictable. Joe Biden had a previous tweet in 2020 saying Nicolás Maduro is a dictator. I strongly condemn his regime's violent takeover of the Venezuelan National Assembly, the country's sole remaining democratic institution. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine defending someone literally usurping a democratic election multiple times.
Stop bombing Venezuela!
Warning! The U.S. launched a massive criminal bombing campaign on Venezuela. This war has nothing to do.
Damn it, they zoomed. That sign says Freedom Road Socialist Organization. ICE, deport them all. Do these fucking people have jobs? Well, they're socialists, so probably not. What war? We were only in there for a few hours? Yeah, I was about to say, we were there for a few hours, arrested El Presidente, and then fucking left. What war exactly? Look, honey, retards on TV again. My favorite! A Fringed Horizon, thank you. Hopefully Trump uses the momentum from his actions in Venezuela to actually do something in the states being fleeced by the daycare administrators. Yeah. I said at the beginning of stream, like, this obviously had to have been planned for a very long time, right? So I will forgive a little bit of my anger at the fucking do something if they were busy doing this. So I'll give them a little bit of forgiveness, a little bit of leeway, but I better fucking see something happening now that this is over, okay? Better fucking see something happening now.
This war has nothing to do with drug trafficking. If the U.S. were into
He looks very low IQ.
They would talk to their allies in Peru.
No more wars for empire!
No more!
Venezuela! Stop bombing Venezuela! Stop bombing Venezuela!
Venezuela has never been a source of the drug trade.
What?
Here, this war is about oil.
What kind of a fucking retard do you have to be to say that Venezuela has never been a part of the drug trade? What kind of low-ass IQ shit is that? Like, you can't be retarded to say that. That has to be malicious. That has to be malicious. You can't be that dumb.
This war is about taking control of Venezuela. They have now kidnapped the president.
What the fuck is this flag? Chat. What is this weird, like, gay chessboard flag? I've never seen this one. It looks gay. These fucking people. It's not a war. How is it over oil when the U.S. is in a exporter? I have no idea.
Of Venezuela. What country has the right to put on trial the president of another?
I don't know. It
Since
seems like a
when
lot
does
of
the
people
Trump
want to do that to
administration have the
Netanyahu.
moral, legal, or even political right to put another president on trial?
Donald Trump and the USA!
Donald Trump and the USA!
Stop bombing Venezuela!
That's really funny that after the first chant of, like, who has the power to arrest and try a leader of another country, and then it immediately goes to Donald Trump and the USA! Yeah, you're right about that one.
Venezuela now!
Stop bombing Venezuela now!
Biggest...
What? I thought we were just talking about how we can arrest the leaders. So what do you mean by this? What? This woman is holding a sign that says you're not allowed to rape Venezuela either. Who the fuck is talking about raping Venezuela? What? Why is this all leftist women think about? No one wants to rape you. What is happening? Who will be next? Stop the war? Well, it's not a war. We were in and out pretty fucking quick. But also, look at the dead fucking eyes of this person. This is like something I would expect to see someone locked in captivity in a dungeon for like 10 years because they've been possessed by a spirit and no priest could exorcise it. And if we let them out, the demon will rain terror upon some like poor South American country and just like eat all of their souls. She has the prisoner of war eyes. Alpha Chad Fenor, thank you. Nobody tell these people about Nuremberg.
In 2014, really the people were really swing, and by 2016, they
whenever something happens in the world, especially like
Albeit, who should be put on trial for the bombing campaign against the Venezuelan people? Who should be put on trial?
It's America! This is America! This is America, y'all! Come on! This is America, y'all!
That guy sounds like he has a Hispanic accent, the one saying America.
This is America!
Woo! That's a healthy fucking person who loves America. Based.
I am fucking at the end of my fucking rope, bro. You have tyrants. I want to say so much, but what can you say when you are literally told that
I crashed Bella, bro! I crashed Bella!
What? I can't understand what this mushmouth is saying. What is he saying?
I crashed Bella, bro!
I cashed, bailed out, bro? Is that what he's saying?
I crashed Bella! Yo, you lucky I gave him. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Fuck out of you, bro.
That's crazy that the guys with the Hispanic accents shouting about how great America is are more understandable than this fucking weird-ass white guy. I can't understand shit that he's saying.
And Michael, fuck you up.
What? What? He can't say that!
Contemporary era. Your mother, too.
Your mother, too! Actually, if his mother was an F slur, he wouldn't be here. Let's be real. She would have been scissoring her heart out.
Right? Donald Trump. You're fucking ice, right, Rubio?
What the fuck? What the fuck? This was 2019, a rare bipartisan clap for Trump after he recognizes the true winner of the Venezuelan election. In 2024, Maduro lost another election but stayed in power. The Biden admin began seizing some of his assets, including his plane. Many Democrats called for him to be removed from power after the 2024 Venezuelan election. Of course, those same people will now condemn Trump for doing it. This kind of reminds me of what it's like to be audience captured, right? Like, they say that there's two kinds of content creators. There's content creators that kind of just do whatever the hell they want and their audience shows up regardless, right? Like, some people might not be here when I talk politics. Some people might not be here when I play video games. But either way, I kind of, hello, tamper monkey bitch. I kind of just do what I like. And then there's other people that are beholden to their audience and are much more cancelable because their audience will revolt and get angry and start denouncing them if they do something that their audience doesn't like. And it kind of makes me think of these politicians, where some of them most definitely are malicious liars that know what's going on and are two-faced, hypocritical, wanting to keep themselves in power. And other times, they just kind of do whatever the fuck their base, they think they want their base to do, right? Their base is just like, we want this thing, and so even if they don't like thing, they will do it, which is why they say hypocritical things so frequently.
2 weeks ago, the United States officially recognized the legitimate government of Venezuela
This
and
was
its
2019
new president,
or 2024, one of those
Juan
years.
Guaido.
Yeah, literal bipartisan clapping.
We stand with the Venezuelan people in their noble quest for freedom, and we condemn the brutality of the Maduro regime.
But now it's bad that he actually did something about the Maduro regime. Now it's a bad thing. The warrant for Maduro was issued... Oh, this is a Dave Chappelle skit. The warrant for Maduro was issued and executed by the U.S., a move that is widely considered illegal on international grounds. Here is the administration's response, and it's a Dave Chappelle skit.
You have a problem with that? You know what you should do? You should sanction me. Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. I guess that means you need to shut the up. That's what I would do if I had an army. I would up. Shut the up. You win? You have
Oh God, I wish this was tweeted by the official White House account. Holy shit. That would be so fucking funny. That would be so funny. Ain't no way though. Okay, Nick Sortor saying actual Venezuelans have now shown up in Times Square to confront the large group of communist protesters who would never last a week under real communism. And they're saying, thank you, Mr. Presidente, Donald Trump.
Thank you, Mr. President Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maduro porta coca. Maduro narcotraficante.
And the left will never acknowledge it because they can't call us racist. But these are the immigrants that all of us want here. People who have actually fled persecution and being oppressed by their communist government. People who actually want to be in America. And people who want to be an American.
Venezuela libre. Regresen, que en Estados Unidos no lo quieren. Regresen, que Trump no lo quiere. Regresen, que Trump no lo quiere. Regresen, que Trump no lo quiere.
The Dems will call these people the parasites because their entire worldview is fucked up, man.
¿Qué haces tú aquí? Tú no eres estadounidense. Cállese los ojos usted, Martita vieja hueputa. Usted no es venezolana.
You hope it doesn't snow. I like snow. Can I just say, I've seen a lot of people in New York wearing these shiny jackets that look like trash bags. Can I just express how much I hate those jackets? I know that's incredibly random, but like every time I see one of these jackets, I just get irrationally upset because they look like they're so gross to touch. They just look like really like nasty texture, and it makes my skin crawl whenever I see them. I fucking hate those jackets. No, it's not even a puffer jacket, because like some puffer jackets are just like a normal material, right? Like this lady's kind of got a puffer jacket on, and it's just like normal material. But like this guy, and like the guy a second ago, this guy, these are like gross fucking material. I hate this shit. Based Venezuelans. That's a funny meme. I like that.
We appreciate you being here.
Oh, there we go. I was like, what the fuck?
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolás Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done.
He sounds fatigued. I can only imagine how fatigued you would be after doing something like this. I imagine he hasn't slept in like over 24 hours, right? Are we fucking on the world? What can they do? Jesus Christ.
No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night.
Hell yeah! But also, I'm a little distracted because this reminds me, right? Like, if you have a raid leader talking about how well your raid went right after the fact, like pumping everybody up from the excitement, this is like the paladin talking about how well it went, and then he's got his, like, elf healer back here. I never noticed how big Rubio's ears are, and that he is literally an elf clan individual that should be wearing fucking mage robes, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm woman-braining about this.
It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have.
Ooh.
It was dark, and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, it's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement.
Are you okay back there, Rubio?
Caught
You just gotta
them
stand.
in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming, so they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed.
Based.
And not a single piece of American equipment was lost.
Also based.
We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin.
He needs to sleep. He's slurring so bad. Mr. President, it's time for EP.
To imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people.
Holy shit.
We knocked out 97%.
That's crazy.
And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people.
I can tell the EP in his voice, not because of like how low he's talking, but because of how much like mouth noise there is. Like the more tired you get, the more like sloppy slapping noises happen, it feels like. You know what I'm talking about?
In mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere.
Where's the red tie? You don't wear commie colors when you arrest a commie, all right, okay? It makes sense to wear the blue tie in this case.
The world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually.
You hear
this
that,
was
Mexico
pinpoint,
president
but
lady?
we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore.
When you were in the USN, you did an op with the SEALs once. You were up for 3 days. You cannot describe the exhaustion after that. I bet the sleep was almost orgasmic, though. That's crazy. 3 fucking days. Your brain must have been mush by the end. Holy fuck. Even Hawken Freres, thank you. The Don cannot sleep, for he must yap, much like a certain Foxu, true?
The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the
fucking bigger wave, the biggest wave in history. It'll be so big. It'll be a wave that never ends until the end of time. Yeah, the way he talks is very goofy sometimes. It's very enjoyable.
Full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida.
Florida.
But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs.
He's saying Venezuela with a hard R.
That inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States. Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide, and he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes.
I remember
They cut
that.
the fingers off people if they called police.
I remember that. That
They
was
were
horrific.
brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our...
This guy next to him is standing like an NPC you pick up a side quest from. A Lewis hand, thank you. You're curious. How did it feel when I woke up this morning and realized my country won a war in your sleep? You wish Australia could do cool things like this? Imagine. I was not expecting this when I woke up. It was a very interesting thing. I was like, God damn, what the fuck?
National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago.
Yeah, same, honestly.
A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average two a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going, they're walking their daughters, they're walking their children, their wives, they walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down.
Stop it, chat.
We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana, and we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks.
Trump's almost done talking.
New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing. And we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help.
Because they're crazy? And if they accept help from Trump, their voter base will fucking rally against them?
Also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it.
We'll know.
And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever.
Still need to clean up a lot of the crime that goes on there, though, man. When I was there, there was a lot of spooky streets to go down, man.
But that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities.
Bought the double fisting cheeseburger waifu cup, a gamer subs AFK, and 12-pack of cans with my code. Make sure you're using code Kirsche for 10% off your gamer subs orders. You can't get 10% off of a South American dictator, though. You get the whole thing.
But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people, and now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari. What happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property.
Thankfully, we did have President Bukake take in a lot of criminals. Bless him in his Gigamax prison, dude. Wow, what an arrest outside the U.S. Can we now arrest everyone in the U.S. who's doing the fraud? Yeah, that's what I want to see now. I'm happy about this. I'll give a little leeway. Maybe they were working on this behind the scenes. That's why it seemed like nothing was getting done, a la the fraud issues. But now we can hopefully focus on the fraud. Hopefully focus on that. I want to see Tim Walz in handcuffs, bro. I want to see that.
It's our property. We built it.
Fox, thank you for the prune.
And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill. And the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country.
Commies cannot create anything, they can only steal, and they do not even maintain it. Thank you for the bless yous, chat.
Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country.
President Bukake, I think you downloaded the wrong reality. I can never remember his name, but I remember his last name is very similar to Bukake, so I just call him that.
Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, so we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did.
You just got here? What's going on? The U.S. went into Venezuela and arrested El Presidente, the commie Maduro, and left within 3 hours.
Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries, and not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines, and the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot. By a real lot.
3 hour tag him and bag him. Apparently it took about half an hour to arrest Maduro, and the other 2.5 hours was just like bombing their military sites. That's kind of fucking funny.
They now call it the Monroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now.
Oh, well,
Everyone's
I'd
coming
like to see
back
you get
to
more
us.
stuff done.
The future
Stop
will be
getting
determined
obstructed
by the ability
activists.
to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. just like tariffs they've made our country rich.
This guy rambles.
And they've
just
made
like
our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels. And we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America. But I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States.
Time to sweep the daycares.
This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just, fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist, Maduro, is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Cane. He's fantastic. Man, I've worked with a lot of generals.
Restaurant,
I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice.
Thank you, General
And I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
All right. I don't think we need to watch the other people talk, but that's pretty fucking cool. So this is Maduro's vice president being a bitch. She is not the current president.
Por el presidente Maduro, único presidente de Venezuela. Hay un solo presidente en este país que se llama Nicolás Maduro Moro. Por el presidente.
I can't speak Spanishes. Cannot speak the Spanishes, but the translation is apparently there's only one president of Venezuela, and it's Nicolás Maduro. I would say the Venezuelan people and also America disagree. Also disagree. There's an opposition lady that is not currently in power, but people are theorizing that she might because she supports Israel. Okay, so nobody knows anything. So unless somebody can point a link to me, I'm no longer going to believe what anyone in chat says about whomst is in power. Maduro's presumed successor, Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, is possibly in Russia. Presumed successor to Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro is currently in Russia, a report said Saturday. They just deposed of a communist dictator, so I would like to see the people of Venezuela put up the person they elected and who won the election, instead of allowing the rest of the commie regime to just continue business as usual. 4 sources familiar with the movements of Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez confirmed her location to Reuters, although the news agency cited Russia's foreign ministry as claiming the report was fake. So, we don't know. Earlier in the day, Rodriguez demanded in audio played on the Venezuelan state TV that the U.S. provide proof of life for Maduro and his wife after President Donald Trump said the pair had been captured in a U.S. military operation. Interesting. We demand that President Donald Trump's government provide immediate proof of life for President Maduro and the First Lady. Trump later shared to Truth Social a photo of Maduro seen detained, blindfolded, and clutching a water bottle while wearing gray sweatpants and a sweatshirt aboard the USS Iwo Jima. Trump said he would later be brought to New York. Maduro previously served as Venezuela's vice president before he took power in 2013, following the death of then-leader Hugo Chavez. Jorge Rodriguez, who is Delcy's brother and the head of Venezuela's National Assembly, remains in Caracas, 3 sources told Reuters. When asked about what the future of Venezuela holds with Maduro no longer in the country, Trump said in an interview on Fox and Friends Weekend that we're making that decision now. We can't take a chance of letting somebody else run and just take over where he left off. So we're making that decision now. Once again, I really do not want to see an American puppet installed in Venezuela. So I really do hope that whoever was actually elected by the people last year in the 2024 elections, I guess technically 2 years ago now, it's 2026, I really hope that that person actually becomes the president of the country. We'll be involved in it very much, and we want to do liberty for the people. We want to, have a great relationship. I think the people of Venezuela are very, very happy because they love the United States. They were run by essentially a dictatorship or worse. Trump later confirmed a press conference in Mar-a-Lago at Palm Beach, Florida, that the U.S. would run Venezuela on a temporary basis. I don't like the idea of the U.S. running Venezuela on a temporary basis. I guess in practice it makes sense to make sure the commies don't just close ranks and continue fucking it up. But I very much would like to see the person who was actually elected by the Venezuelan people take power. Because we have celebration thread here. How exciting! That's kind of crazy. That's crazy. What is this giant robot? That thing looks sick. With 3 chats going, this really is an average Kirsche stream? What do you mean? Maybe a speaker? That's a huge fucking speaker. But yeah, look at these people cheering. That's nuts.
Pero desde mis 7 años me tocó vivir
I can't understand her, there's no subtitles.
Me arrebataron mi infancia, me arrebataron todo. Y lo que está sucediendo el día de hoy es increíble, es increíble. Tengo un sentimiento demasiado grande. Nadie lo entiende más que el que lo ha vivido, Dios mío. El hecho de poder volver a nuestro país.
Someone turn the lights on.
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
Annie, thank you. Fun fact, Biden and Pelosi actually condemned Maduro usurping the elections, but libs cannot remember anything about their party past 2 days. Yeah, I read the Biden post in 2020 condemning Maduro. This is a 5-minute video. This is a 5-minute video, but I can't understand it, so I won't play the whole thing. I'm sorry about that. Any translators in chat? She's talking about how miserable the commies in Venezuela made her life, and so she's happy.
Maduro y su esposa han sido
Poppers!
Nicolás Maduro y Sidita fueron capturados.
Look at how happy they are!
Maduro, se va a capturar Maduro, viejo.
The Venezuelan reaction to Maduro's extraction reminds me of the Cuban reaction to Castro's death. They partied hard. I bet it's going to be a pretty big celebration today for the Venezuelans, man. She's been suffering for 7 years and she can't believe that she's free. Fucking wild, man. She's like, I'm so fucking happy they robbed my future and such. That's nice. That's nice to hear. Enjoy not being ruled by commies. Zenik, thank you for the czar. But Kirsche, you gotta paint the map in your colors, else what's the point? Have you not played a grand strategy game? Imperialism, ho! I love painting the civ map in my colors, man.
Mami. Buenos días. Capturaron a Maduro.
Buenos días.
Mentira.
Amor, sácalo, Maduro.
Mentira. Ay, bendito sea el Señor. Ay, Dios mío, gracias.
Yeah, I would say that's a reason to wake someone up at 2 a.m. to tell them that the commie fuck who's been ruining your life has been arrested.
Nelson. Capturaron a Maduro.
He's literally playing a Civ game right now. Not actually Civ, but like a Civ-like game. I saw the map on his fucking screen. I saw the map. Do you see that? Do you see it? He's literally playing a Civ-like game right now.
Capturaron a Maduro.
¿Es verdad?
Yeah.
El diablo, espérate, me van a matar.
No te lo puedo creer, esto es increíble.
That's funny. He's been simulating this moment for years. That's nice. This is I can't read this either. La emoción que vive mi padre tras la caída del régimen de Nicolás Maduro, Venezuela libre. I know libre is like liberation. That's a happy comment. Look at all that nail polish. I'd trust her to do my nails. Much emotion from his dad due to the end of the Maduro regime. Thank you, based translators.
Estos son los buenos días que uno se merece, chica.
I like her hot dog shirt.
Yo no te lo puedo creer.
This gives me real Linda energy, like Burger Bob's wife, Linda. I love it.
Yo pensé que yo estaba soñando. Tengo como una hora analizando todo así yo. Eso es inteligencia artificial. Eso es un video viejo.
She's so happy!
O Donald Trump de colocar nas suas redes sociais que o Maduro e sua esposa foram capturados, gente.
Gente!
Meu Deus.
Deus!
Meu Deus.
Deus,
Pai
não?
do céu, Senhor. Oh, meu amor. Vai chegar o momento da liberdade do nosso país, meu amor. Pai do céu, pai.
Oh, meu amor is my love.
Senhores, estão falando que o Maduro foi capturado.
Oh, I like their
Essa
pots on their
notícia
stove.
que acaba de colocar em suas redes sociais o presidente dos Estados Unidos, Donald Trump. Ao parecer,
Donald Trump.
na operação
I recognize
militar
that.
desse 3 de janeiro de 2026, foi extraído o Maduro e sua esposa. Essa é a informação que temos, que o Maduro foi capturado. Gente, vamos estar informando vocês.
He kind of looks like a little more beefy. He's like Mexican Filthy Frank. Or I guess he's speaking Portuguese, so maybe he's Brazilian? I don't know. This is Portuguese, but you can still get what he's saying. Venezuela would be like a first world country if not for the likes of Chavez and Maduro. Fair. Isn't most of South America and outside Mexico speaking Portuguese? I thought that Portuguese was only spoken in Brazil, but you know, filthy Franco. Yeah, exactly. Filthy Franco.
Informando, estejam atentos. Amigos, olhem o que colocou Donald Trump em suas redes sociais. Comunicado de Donald Trump. Estados Unidos.
The United States has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolás Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald Trump
realizou com sucesso ataque a grande escala contra a Venezuela.
Portugal is still a country? Yeah, but Portugal's in Europe, not South America, sir.
Trasladado em avião junto com sua esposa fora do país. Essa operação se realizou.
Brazil, Portugal, Angola, Cabo Verde, Mozambique, Timor-Leste, Macau. What is a Cabo Verde? Is that Verde's like green, right? The Green Cape? Question mark. I've never heard of Timor-Leste. And I thought Macau was a bird. It's an island. That's Portuguese with a heavy Spanish accent. He likely fled to Brazil. Makes sense. Makes sense. The Green Cape. Oh, I'm so fucking smart, chat.
Em colaboração com as forças do ordem dos Estados Unidos. Se darão mais detalhes proximamente. Hoje, às 11 horas AM, haverá uma conferência de prensa em Mar-a-Lago. Graças pela sua atenção, presidente Donald Trump. Gente, o Maduro caiu, foi capturado, gente!
Gente! I don't know what that means, but it sounds fun. I love just repeating foreign words that I don't know what they mean.
No sé, yo Yo estoy en shock. Porque dicen que capturaron a Maduro y a Cilia y está volando para Estados Unidos. Que Estados Unidos capturó a Maduro. Yo no sé, ya va, es que yo estoy en shock porque es como que... Es que han sido tantos años, Eric.
La verdad que me está vendiendo la tele, ¿no?
Elijah Snow, thank you. Iran is also off the chain. You're watching multiple different cities, and the IRGC is getting forced into a corner as we speak. It's wild over there. May 2026 be the year that all commie regimes get removed. They were like the 4th richest country in the world at one point. Maybe now they can return to that. Maybe. Wish we could feel this happy about our cities. Once we see our corrupt politicians also being carried away in handcuffs, then we can also celebrate. We can be dancing in the streets.
Ha sido demasiado sufrimiento, demasiadas familias separadas, demasiadas torturas, demasiadas cosas. Y que este momento llegara. Ha sido demasiado. Y...
Donald Trump trying to be the worst thing for communists since communism.
El año 1. El año de comienzo, el año de muchos proyectos.
Ayer me dijiste el año 1.
El año 1. El año 1. Oh my god. Demasiado. Demasiado.
It's kind of nuts that it's easier for Trump to get military action through the paperwork than to get someone arrested at home. Well, apparently he didn't tell Congress he was doing this. Damn, look at this zoomer!
Podamos ser libres. No olvidemos el tanto daño que nos ha hecho esos desgraciados. Sí, solo, pero con los míos. Siempre llevo a mi familia, a mi mamá presente, a mi papá, a mis amigos, a mi pareja.
Evidently, Hugo was asking if Trump could yoink Z. I think that would be significantly harder.
Y le pido a Dios por todos ustedes, señores.
Amazing what we can accomplish when there's zero intelligence leaks. I'm just glad that he finally learned to stop fucking trusting people. Because that has been the hugest, like, obstacle in his path. That, like, anytime he talks about what his plans are going to be, someone fucking leaks it to the media and they ruin everything.
Me duele en el corazón que por la culpa de esos hijos de puta. Nosotros estamos
I know that word.
Políticos que nosotros nunca debimos salir de nuestro país. Y lo destruyeron todo, pero bueno.
Oh, he's even got an earring. This is a gay zoomer?
¿Qué me puedo hacer llorar, brother? Porque extraño tanto a mi mamá, a mi familia, a mis amigos. Estoy cansado de esta verga. Y Maduro, si ves esto, maldito hijo de puta, lárgate, huevón. No te queremos, negocia, pero ya. Queremos estar todos unidos como antes. Ya no aguantamos esta mierda. Mi gente, que este 2026 nos vaya bonito a todos. Que Dios los bendiga, los amo, los quiero y los adoro. Bendiciones y
That's fucking woo in the background. That's great. That's great. I understand that one. I love seeing the fucking Nepal take back their country. I love seeing this shit in Venezuela. I love seeing the protest in Mexico. We need to embody that kind of spirit. We need to be doing stuff in order to take our country back as well from the fucking commies, dude.
Mandy, capturaron a Maduro.
No! What? Yes!
Look at her plushie corner. Yeah, Iran is in the middle of it too. I haven't gotten to the Iran tabs because there's been so much fucking going on, man.
De verdad, te lo juro. Él te dijo. Dan todas las noticias. Mira tu teléfono.
That's great. That's fucking great.
Dormimos los venezolanos en todo el mundo. El día llegó. Donald Trump confirmó la captura del maldito nacido hijo de Nicolás Maduro, carajo.
Trump
Cayó el
to inform Congress for this. The same as Reagan didn't need to tell them when he went into Panama to arrest Manuel Noriega.
Hell yeah. Darth Andrea, thank you for the fucking 50, man. Thank you for the fucking 50. If only we could have more people in our country arrested for the fraud that's going on. Now that the thing in Venezuela has been concluded, hopefully they can turn their attention to what's going on in Minnesota and Maine. And to a lesser degree, but I'm sure we're going to find it in other states as well.
Rayman!
Did you say Rayman? Let's take all the commies and push them somewhere else. Side scrollers, jiggles. Ganguin, thank you for the Dark Knights. The fact that none of this was leaked at all means Trump has secured a mass of people he can trust in the military. True. True and real. Venezuelans are going to be rating very high on the next scale of countries that love America. We gave them a second Christmas. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Venezuela. The feeling of the nation has been waiting for so long for this moment, yeah? Man, you would think that they won the World Cup or something.
Mi gente libre, libre. Agarraron a Maduro, se fueron ya. ¡Qué felicidad! ¡Dios, gracias! Voy a ir para Los Roques, voy a ir para Margarita, voy a ir para mi tierra bella, Dios mío, Venezuela.
I have no idea what he's saying, but I feel how happy he is.
Gracias, Dios. Gracias, Señor. Mi gente. Dios mío, no sé ni cómo explicarle ni qué decirle. Pero el régimen de Maduro se fue. Tío Donald Trump. Gracias, tío. Gracias, tío.
You would think they won a soccer game, but all they did was win their country back.
Adiós, Maduro. Adiós, Chavita. Adiós, váyanse a la mierda.
That type of excitement is extremely contagious. Yeah, it is. Like, it makes me feel extra fucking happy. I love seeing it, man. He has very infectious excitement. He could be a very good hype man. Hell yeah, listen to the screaming, man! Glory to God, Maduro is gone. That's crazy! That's crazy! This is extremely white pilling. The black pill doomers who said Trump wouldn't do anything now have to eat their words. Praise God and God bless the United States. I fucking love seeing this, and I want this to be us as well. Oh, there's only one more. Okay. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's so many people fucking cheering on apartment balconies, man. Cowbell! We need more cowbell, Venezuela! Is this in Venezuela? Yes, they are celebrating Maduro being arrested. Maybe when Trump said he would run for president again. This is... Or he meant the Venezuelan president? Oh, fuck. I don't know yet. They need to break out the vuvuzelas. La Raza, Venezuela. Wait, isn't La Raza a gang? That's fucking great. We need this in our country. We need to see this kind of fucking excitement after arrests in our country. Young Venezuelans were streaming when they found out the news of the U.S. strike on Venezuela. Their joy was raw and uncontainable.
Los gringos están invadiendo bases. Se acaban de meter en Venezuela. ¿Qué pasó, bro? No, está matando a Maduro. Sí, marico, están reventando bases aéreas. Marico, me cagué muy feo.
That guy's face was my face when Cat P Fetish told me that someone tried to assassinate Trump while I was live.
Bro, ustedes no pueden llegar a hacer el stream, bro, y espantarme así.
Nick Sortor just posted on Twitter. Can I have the link?
Papi.
Papi, ay, papi.
Ya va. En serio, ya, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Hermano, sí. Sí, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Llévala, ¿qué pasó?
I hope I can celebrate just as happily once we start removing commies in our country.
Papi, bombardearon Venezuela, ¿qué pasó?
The Latina milkers! Jesus Christ. That's great to see, man. Pete Hegseth just told whiny Democrats to get lost after they complained Hegseth didn't allow them to leak the Venezuelan operation. Wow. Wow, dude. Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Well, we're postured, and the president said the blockade continues, no oil going in and out, no drug boats allowed to traffic in the Caribbean or the East Pac, so we're still poised there. This was a law enforcement exercise. It was the Department of War in support of the Department of Justice pulling out an indicted person who ultimately will face justice, and Marco was clear there that this is not something you notify Congress about beforehand, but were there to be more or extensions to this, of course we'll keep Congress involved. They're our partners, and we would do so.
Great to hear. Get fucked, retards. Get fucked, retards. If you don't know, you know now.
Venga por mí. Aquí lo esperan Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
And now, if you don't know, now you know.
Thank you, the White House. See, this is what I want. I want the crazy fucking memes after they do something. All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hold on, I gotta go fucking tweet this because that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Venga por mí.
Last night, on the order of the President of the United States,
Aquí lo esperan Miraflores.
and in support of a request from the Department of Justice,
No se tarde en llegar.
the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro.
Nicolás Maduro had his chance until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know.
Thank you,
Because
Lamarco.
this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, you know, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well.
That's a pretty good fucking video. I like that. Venga por mí! Crocodile. Fuck, you might re-enlist. Kidding, fuck that shit. You love the, if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, I like the way he said that. That was pretty fucking funny. That was pretty funny. That's the one I retweeted. No games, fuck around, find out. Oh, man. Oh, man, that reminds me of the straight out of Compton memes from Poll, like, many years ago. I would love to meet the man shit posting behind this account, dude. Imagine if it's actually just Baron Trump. The fact they blew up Chavez's corpse before they left for good measure is the most baller thing in existence. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Don't play games with President Trump. Man, they are doing victory laps. Nicolás Maduro aboard a U.S. government helicopter has touched down in Manhattan. Soon he'll arrive at his nice comfy concrete bed in a notoriously disgusting federal jail in Brooklyn. And justice is served. Helicopter! The 18-year-old recruit that matched the missile at the Mausoleum is having a ball. Imagine the afterglow of you being the guy. Enjoy Seething, puto! Penitent Lizard, thank you. Bet it's the big balls guy they had in Doge. That'd be great. That'd be great. The whirly birds! true, commies do get helicopter rides. There's a joke I'm about to bring up. I don't want to steal this guy's joke, but it's a fucking good one. You don't see why you complained. He actually had a landing to go with his helicopter ride. True and real. Shame we can't throw him out while it's in the sky. Damn, look at all these, like, fucking beefcake, corn-fed American security dudes.
As nice as this is to see, don't forget that many in the US would celebrate the same way, if not more, if Trump was arrested like this. Enemies still abound.
The problem with that is that Trump isn't a dictator or a communist. He's just a normal politician guy. But yeah, they would celebrate because they're fucking retarded and they hate America. Very true. Stay vigilant. True and real. Corn-fed, cornbread, big American dudes. I love the corn-fed, big American dudes. Price for freedom is eternal vigilance, and somewhere along the way we forgot about that. You love to see it. The doggo. He's an insurance policy.
Looks like they pulled out.
Ivan, thank you, my guy. God, thank you for making the commies in America so low IQ. They openly support dictators while claiming Trump is a dictator. They got the Somali intelligence staff. They did not spec correctly on their character sheet. So many cameras, yeah, it is. In Chile, the president condemned the attack on Venezuela. Funny thing, Maduro cut all diplomatic relationship with Chile and pretty much called him an idiot. Thankfully, the next Chilean president is an extreme far-right one. When did he get sworn in? Look how happy they are!
Venezuela!
Today's daring raid has brought to my attention that some special force operatives don't know what you're supposed to do when you have a communist in a helicopter. This is a great meme. This is great. You love the Limmy waking up meme and all of its derivatives? Same. I love it as well.